In the heart of downtown Chicago, Ryan stared at the glowing screen of his phone, his thumb hovering over the delete button, as Nathan's name appeared with those 4 simple words that hit like a freight train. "We need to talk. It's important." The message came out of nowhere after 6 months of silence. And suddenly the carefully built facade he'd maintained since their breakup began to crack right there in the middle of his sleek apartment overlooking the river. Ryan set the phone down on the granite counter, his hands trembling just enough to notice. He had spent every day since that rainy Tuesday in May convincing himself he was fine, that walking away had been the right call. Work had become his armor. Late nights at the architecture firm, endless client meetings, and weekend gym sessions where he pushed weights until his muscles screamed. Friends saw the confident guy who laughed at their jokes and bought rounds at happy hour. His parents back in Texas heard stories about promotions and new projects. No one knew the nights he lay awake replaying Nathan's last words. "I can't keep being your secret, Ryan. Not anymore." He picked up the phone again, the message still staring back. Nathan was in LA now, teaching history at a private high school, building the life he always said he wanted. Open, honest, free. Ryan had been the one who hesitated, the one whose conservative family would never understand 2 men sharing a future. His father, a retired oil engineer, still asked about nice girls every Sunday call. His mother sent church bulletins in the mail. Coming out meant losing more than just approval. It meant rewriting every story they had told about their only son. So Ryan had ended it, packed Nathan's things into boxes while pretending his heart wasn't breaking, and told himself strength looked like moving forward alone. Now this text. He typed a reply, deleted it, typed again. Finally he hit send. When? 1 word. That was all he could manage. The response came instantly. "Tonight. Our old spot by the lake if you're free." Ryan's chest tightened. The lakefront bench where they had shared their first kiss 3 years earlier. He glanced at the clock. 7:30. Enough time to shower, change, and drive north before the evening traffic thickened. He told himself it was just closure, nothing more. But as he pulled on a crisp button-down and ran a hand through his dark hair, the mirror showed the truth. The strong face he showed the world was already slipping. The drive along Lakeshore Drive felt endless. Skyscrapers glittered behind him while the water stretched dark and restless on his right. Ryan replayed every argument, every tender moment, every time Nathan had looked at him with those steady hazel eyes and said, "You deserve to live out loud." He had answered with silence then. Now the silence was broken by a single text. When he parked and walked the familiar path, the wind off the lake carried the scent of summer grass and distant grills. Nathan was already there, sitting on the bench in a light blue shirt that brought out the gold in his hair. He stood when he saw Ryan, taller than Ryan remembered, shoulders broader from what looked like new workouts. Their eyes met and the 6 months vanished for 1 dangerous second. "Thanks for coming," Nathan said, voice calm but edged with something Ryan couldn't name. They didn't hug. They didn't touch. Ryan sat on the far end of the bench, leaving space like a shield. "What's so important it couldn't wait?" Nathan looked out at the water for a long moment before answering. "I got some news from the doctor last week. Nothing life-threatening, but it's enough to make me rethink everything. And I realized I couldn't leave Chicago without telling you the truth. I never stopped loving you, Ryan. Not for a single day." The words landed like stones in still water, sending ripples through every defense Ryan had built. He felt the crack widen inside his chest, the fake strength he'd worn like armor starting to splinter right there under the city lights. Ryan's breath caught, the lake breeze suddenly too cold against his skin. He had rehearsed a dozen responses on the drive, polite deflections, careful distance. None of them fit now. "You can't just say that," he managed, voice low. "You left. You took the job in LA. We agreed this was over." Nathan turned, eyes searching Ryan's face. "I took the job because you pushed me away. Every time I talked about telling your family, you shut down. I couldn't keep pretending we were just roommates when your parents visited. It was killing me." Ryan remembered those weekends vividly. Nathan smiling through awkward dinners, sleeping in the guest room, leaving before dawn so no one would suspect. Ryan had hated every second but told himself it was protection, not cowardice. Now the protection felt like chains. My dad called yesterday, Ryan said, changing the subject because the truth hurt too much. He's flying in next month for a conference. Wants to meet my new friends. I told him work is crazy. Same old story. Nathan's expression softened with something like pity. That's exactly why I had to text you. The doctor said the arrhythmia isn't dangerous yet, but it could be if I keep stressing. And the biggest stress has always been wondering if you'd ever choose us over their approval. Ryan stood abruptly, pacing the path. Joggers passed. Couples laughed in the distance. Normal lives unfolding while his own unraveled. He thought of the promotion at the firm, the corner office waiting if he kept his head down and his personal life private. He thought of his sister's last email. Mom's been asking if you're seeing anyone. I covered for you again. The weight of all those lies pressed on his shoulders until he stopped pacing and faced Nathan. What do you want from me? To drop everything and come out tomorrow? Risk my job, my family? For a maybe? Nathan rose too, close enough that Ryan could smell his familiar cologne. I want you to stop pretending you're okay without me. Because I'm not okay without you. The honesty in those words stripped away another layer of Ryan's armor. He felt tears burn behind his eyes and turned away fast, staring at the dark water so Nathan wouldn't see. They talked for another hour, voices rising and falling with old hurts and new hopes. When they finally parted with an awkward handshake instead of the embrace Ryan secretly craved, he drove home in silence. Inside the apartment, he poured a glass of water and let it sit untouched on the counter. The phone buzzed again. A photo from Nathan. The two of them on that same bench 3 summers ago, smiling like nothing could touch them. Ryan stared until the screen went dark. For the first time in 6 months, the strong face he showed the world slipped completely. He sank onto the couch and let the tears come. The next morning at the office, Ryan moved through meetings on autopilot. His colleague Marcus clapped him on the back after the client presentation. You're killing it lately, man. That promotion is yours. Ryan forced a grin. Thanks. Just staying focused. Inside, he replayed Nathan's words about the doctor's visit. He texted his sister Emily during lunch. Hey, any chance you can talk Dad down before he visits? Work is insane. Her reply came quick. I'll try, but you know how he is. He misses you. We all do. Ryan deleted the thread and opened a new design file, lines blurring on the screen. By evening, he was back at the gym, pushing through sets until sweat stung his eyes. In the locker room, a guy he vaguely knew from college nodded hello. Heard you're single again. Tough break. Ryan laughed it off. Yeah, focusing on me now. The lie tasted bitter. That night, he called Nathan despite every instinct screaming no. Tell me about the doctor visit. All of it. Nathan's voice on speaker filled the quiet apartment with details Ryan hadn't been ready to hear yesterday. Tests, medication, lifestyle changes. Nothing terminal, but enough to scare a man into honesty. I don't want pity, Nathan said. I just want you to know why I had to reach out. Ryan closed his eyes. I get it. I just don't know if I can be what you need. The call ended softly, no promises made. But the crack in Ryan's facade had become a fissure, and he felt every inch of it widening as the week unfolded. Friday brought the company happy hour Ryan usually loved. He stood at the rooftop bar with a craft beer in hand, laughing at Marcus's jokes while the city lights sparkled below. Inside his head, the conversation with Nathan looped endlessly. When his phone vibrated with another message, he stepped aside to read it. My flight lands tomorrow. Can we meet for coffee before I head to the conference? Nathan again. Ryan's pulse jumped. He typed yes before he could overthink. The next afternoon they met at a small cafe near Millennium Park. Nathan looked tired but determined, wearing the same blue shirt from the lake. They ordered black coffee and sat outside under an umbrella. The arrhythmia isn't the only thing, Nathan admitted after a long silence. My family back in Oregon is pushing me to settle down. They don't know about us, obviously, but they've set me up with a colleague. A woman. I said no, but the pressure is real. Ryan felt the jealousy rise hot and fast. So you're telling me this now? Nathan met his gaze steadily. I'm telling you because pretending is what broke us. I won't do it anymore. The words landed hard. Ryan thought of his own father arriving in 2 weeks, suitcase full of expectations. He thought of the firm partners who still made casual jokes about the wife and kids in meetings. He thought of how easy it would be to keep smiling, keep lying, keep surviving. But sitting across from Nathan, watching the way sunlight caught in his hair, Ryan felt the old love surge back stronger than fear. What if I said I wanted to try again? He asked, voice barely above a whisper. Nathan's hand brushed his under the table, quick and hidden. Then we'd have to be honest. With everyone. The touch lingered only seconds, but it burned. Ryan pulled away first, heart hammering. They parted with plans to talk more that weekend. Driving home, Ryan called his best friend Alex, the only person who knew the full story. Nathan's back in town, and he's not letting me hide anymore. Alex whistled low. About time. You gonna tell your folks? Ryan gripped the wheel tighter. I don't know if I can. The weekend blurred into long walks along the lake, careful conversations in quiet restaurants, stolen glances that carried years of history. Each moment chipped away at Ryan's resolve. By Sunday night, he stood in his apartment staring at family photos on the shelf, his father's proud smile next to Ryan's college graduation cap. The weight felt unbearable. When Nathan texted goodnight with a simple heart emoji, Ryan cried again, this time without fighting it. The strong act was crumbling faster than he could rebuild. Monday morning brought the first real test. His boss called him into the office. Great work on the downtown project. Promotion discussion is next week. Keep it up. Ryan nodded, thanked him, then spent the rest of the day wondering what the corner office would cost. That evening his father called from Texas. Son, your mother and I are excited to see you. Brought some of that barbecue sauce you like. Ryan forced enthusiasm. Can't wait, Dad. The lie sat heavy. Later he met Nathan at a small Italian place they used to love. Over pasta, Nathan shared more about the doctor's advice, exercise, stress reduction, honesty. Hiding us was the biggest stress, he said quietly. Ryan reached across the table this time, fingers brushing openly for the first time in public. The waitress smiled without comment. Small victory. But when they left the restaurant, a group of guys from work walked by on the sidewalk. Ryan dropped Nathan's hand instantly. The look on Nathan's face said everything. Still pretending, Nathan murmured. Ryan didn't deny it. The drive home was silent. Inside he paced, replaying the moment, hating himself for the reflex. The phone rang. Nathan. I can't keep doing half measures, Ryan. Either we're in this together or we're not. The words cut deep. Ryan sat on the edge of the bed, the strong facade he had worn for months now in pieces at his feet. Give me time, he whispered. Just a little more time. Time ran out faster than Ryan expected. His father arrived midweek, checking into a downtown hotel and insisting on dinner that very night. Ryan canceled plans with Nathan and met his dad at a steakhouse near the river. The older man looked the same, broad shoulders and steady gaze. You look good, son. Working hard. Ryan nodded, ordering the usual. Conversation flowed easy at first, work, sports, weather. Then his father leaned in. Your sister says you've been single a while. Any special lady I should know about? Ryan's fork froze. The lie came automatic. No one serious, Dad. But the words tasted wrong now. Nathan's face flashed in his mind. Later, walking his father back to the hotel, Ryan felt the fissure inside split wider. Dad, there's something I need to tell you someday. His father clapped his shoulder. Whenever you're ready, son. We're family. The simple trust made Ryan's stomach turn. Back home, he called Nathan. My dad's here. I almost told him tonight. Nathan's voice was gentle. Almost isn't enough anymore. They met the next day at the lake again, this time walking the path instead of sitting. Nathan shared stories from his classroom, kids who reminded him why honesty mattered. Ryan listened, then confessed the promotion conversation and the fear of losing it all. What if coming out costs me everything? Nathan stopped walking. What if staying hidden costs you us? The question hung between them like the city fog. That night Ryan lay awake until dawn. The message that started it all still saved on his phone. He reread it a dozen times. When sunrise painted the skyline gold, he made a decision. He texted Nathan, "Dinner with my dad tomorrow. I want you there." The reply came quick. "You sure?" Ryan typed back one word. "Yes." The dinner was set for a quiet Italian place Ryan chose deliberately, neutral ground. His father arrived first, greeting Ryan with a hug. Nathan walked in 5 minutes later, calm and composed. Introductions were simple. "Dad, this is Nathan. He's important to me." The older man shook hands politely, no questions yet. Conversation stayed light until dessert. Then Ryan set his fork down. "Dad, Nathan isn't just a friend. He's the person I've been seeing for 3 years. The one I pushed away because I was scared." Silence stretched. His father looked from one to the other, processing. "You're telling me you're gay, son?" Ryan nodded, heart pounding so hard he felt dizzy. "Yes, and I'm tired of pretending I'm not." The next hour was raw. Questions, confusion, a few raised voices. His father didn't storm out. He listened. By the time coffee arrived, he said quietly, "I don't understand it all yet, but I love you. We'll figure the rest out." Ryan felt something inside him shift, like the last piece of the broken facade finally fell away. Outside on the sidewalk, Nathan pulled him into a real hug, the kind they used to share without fear. "You did it," Nathan whispered. Ryan held on tighter. "We did it." The days after the dinner blurred into a mix of relief and new challenges. Ryan's father flew home with promises to talk more, his mother already texting gentle questions. At work, the promotion meeting went ahead, but Ryan walked in without the old weight on his shoulders. When his boss asked about personal life, Ryan answered honestly, "I'm seeing someone special. A man." The boss blinked once, then smiled. "Good for you. The project's yours regardless." Small wins stacked up. Ryan met Nathan at their bench again, this time holding hands openly as joggers passed. They talked about the future, LA possibilities, Chicago roots, compromises neither had been willing to make before. Misunderstandings still surfaced. Nathan admitted the setup his family arranged had made him question if hiding was easier. Ryan confessed the fake dates he'd gone on just to keep up appearances. Each confession healed something. One evening Alex joined them for drinks, celebrating the breakthrough. "About damn time," Alex toasted. Ryan laughed for real, the sound lighter than it had been in months. But family pressure wasn't over. His sister called with news. "Mom wants us all home for Thanksgiving. She says she needs to meet Nathan." Ryan glanced at the man beside him on the couch. "We'll be there." The trip to Texas loomed like a final test. Ryan spent the weeks leading up working on new designs during the day and rebuilding trust with Nathan at night. Quiet dinners, long talks, simple touches that no longer felt secret. The arrhythmia news came back positive, medication working, stress down. "You did that," Nathan said one night, head on Ryan's shoulder. "By choosing us." Thanksgiving arrived with crisp Texas air and his mother's famous pie. The family dinner table felt different this year. Nathan sat beside Ryan, hand resting openly on his knee under the cloth. Conversations were careful at first, questions from aunts and uncles, awkward pauses. Ryan answered each one steadily, no more deflection. His father watched with quiet pride. Later on the porch, his mother hugged him tight. "I just want you happy, baby." Ryan felt tears rise again. Different tears this time, the kind that came from release instead of pain. Back in Chicago, the promotion party was loud and joyful. Colleagues raised glasses, some surprised, most supportive. Ryan stood on the rooftop with Nathan at his side, city lights stretching forever. The man who had sent that single text 6 months earlier looked at him now with the same love that started it all. "Thank you for the message," Ryan said softly. Nathan smiled. "Thank you for answering." Winter settled over Chicago with soft snow and shorter days. Ryan and Nathan settled into a rhythm that felt both new and deeply familiar. Mornings started with coffee and quiet conversation. Evenings ended with shared dinners and plans for the future. Ryan's family visits became regular, his father sending articles about LGBTQ rights with tentative pride. Work flourished too. The new corner office overlooked the river Ryan had stared at the night the text arrived. He kept a small photo on the desk, the two of them on the lake bench, proof that pretending was no longer necessary. One snowy evening they drove to the same spot where everything changed. The bench was empty, lights reflecting on the frozen water. Nathan turned to him. "Remember the night I sent that text?" Ryan nodded, pulling him close against the cold. "It broke me open in the best way." They stood there a long time, arms around each other, no one left to hide from. The journey hadn't been easy. Misunderstandings had flared, family doubts had lingered, societal stares still happened on the street. But each time Ryan chose honesty, the strength he once faked became real. Nathan's health stabilized completely, the scare now just a reminder of what mattered. Ryan's identity no longer felt like a burden, felt like freedom. Spring brought new beginnings. They planned a small trip to LA to meet Nathan's family. Another step into the open. Ryan stood on his balcony one morning watching the city wake up, phone in hand. The old text thread was still there, a reminder of the moment everything shifted. He smiled and slipped the phone away. No more pretending, no more hiding, just two men building a life side by side. As the sun rose higher, Ryan felt the last traces of that old facade dissolve completely, replaced by something stronger, something true. The love that had survived every test now stood in full light, ready for whatever came next. True or false? Pretending to be strong after heartbreak is always the best way to protect the people you love.